nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens. I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
President George W. Bush from Ground Zero in the days that followed the terror attacks. New York Congressman Peter King joining us now. I can hear you. What a moment that was, September 14th, 2001. What do you think when you look back and see and hear that moment?
I was actually there at that time, and I was down there with President Bush. But actually, I was across the street, and we couldn't hear exactly what he said, but we heard the tremendous ovation from the crowd. And then the president come over and asked us how we did, and we said great, only because we were basing it on the ovation. When I got home that night and saw that it was all over television, that was the moment. And the firefighter he was standing with, Bob Beckwith, has become a very good friend to me and my wife, a true patriot. The president couldn't have picked a better person to stand with. But being here today, to me, this brings back memories of the saddest day, the most tragic day in American history, but also the most uplifting and heroic, considering how all those cops and firefighters were the true heroes, and they fought back, and they inspired the entire country.
Congressman, talk more about that. We still hear the names being read in Lower Manhattan at Ground Zero there, and those first responders, those firemen and women, police, those that ran through the doors into a burning building to save people, the heroes that we witnessed on that day, Congressman.
They truly were heroic, and the fact is they didn't even think twice. They went in. In fact, they made a point of going in. That was their job. That was their vocation. And what they did, first of all, they saved countless numbers of lives, and almost as importantly, they inspired the nation. I mean, just think of on that day when there's so much sadness, so much despair. If we had seen cops and firefighters running away or not going in or ducking for cover, no, they went right in literally to the fires of hell. So we should always, always be grateful for them and keep that in mind today. These are the true heroes. Those same cops that ran in there that day are the same as the ones being vilified today. So we have to keep that in mind. And the firefighters, they are, again, in a class by themselves.
19 years later, Congressman, how's this country changed as a result of that day?
Wow, you know, I just wish we could go back to September 11th, September 12th, when the country was unified, when we saw all that was good about the country and why it was worth fighting for and why we can never back down. And today we have too many people who think it's heroic somehow to be burning the American flag or burning buildings or attacking police officers, throwing bricks and rocks. So, and again, there's always a certain element in society that does that. What's different today is we have leaders in government actually encouraging them or looking the other way or enabling them. So we have to find a way to reinstill that American spirit of unity and love for the country and realize whatever faults we have, we're the greatest country in the world.
Congressman, we're looking live at Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where the President and the First Lady have taken their seats there. We understand the President is going to deliver a message to the family members of Flight 93 in prepared remarks. Today, every heartbeat in America is wedded to yours. We're going to hear from the President a short time from now. Congressman Peter King, appreciate your time this morning and great to be with you. Thank you.